So this is my week to give up comparisons. And it's International Women's Day. And I know that this reflection is going to cost me probably a lot more than the dollar I've been adding when I publicly compare. Because I've been thinking about what the impacts of comparison are for those who are vulnerable. And I've come to think that we need to be careful in how we give up comparing. See, as I noted in one of these videos last week, it's really easy for us to assume that our experience is like everyone's experience. That our reality is exactly the same as everyone else's reality. If we don't feel privileged, it must mean that we're not. And when we don't compare our reality with anyone else's, we don't discover the differences. And we don't speak out about the differences when they're unfair. So if you're doing the same job as someone else and you don't know what they're being paid, you don't know if you're being treated fairly. Now, in an ideal world, you wouldn't compare yourself to someone else to know what your work is worth. But in this world, justice asks us to compare, to make sure that those who are being paid more aren't simply the people who know to ask for more. I think that's the theme of this International Women's Day, to press for progress. This year, we've been discovering that women have kept quiet about sexual assault, for example, because they thought they were the only one. And when they've been able to compare their experiences, they've found the confidence to speak out about what has happened to them. That's some value in comparing. And there's a kind of comparison that I need to do to understand how lucky I am in my life experiences, my circumstances, the fact that I was born white, with access to education, with two parents who both had employment, means that my life has been easier than someone who's not had the resources I've had. It's not like my life has felt particularly easy, and I feel like I have worked hard, and I have had obstacles placed in my path because I was female. And speaking with men who have not had these roadblocks and comparing our experiences has been helpful in understanding my world. But if I couldn't meet people who had had a much harder road than mine, if I couldn't listen to their story and their circumstances and compare them with my own, I don't know if I would understand how much of my life is not of my own making, and how much of a head start I have had over so many others in this world who didn't get to be born in Canada, who didn't get to take swimming lessons or piano lessons, who didn't get to go to university, who face additional challenges or obstacles because of the color of their skin. So, giving up comparison entirely can also be costly. For today, my $10 is worth remembering that.